Excellency, President Salva Kiir, President of the Republic of South Sudan, Vice President Waniga, Federal Ministers, Specialized Committees, Chairman, Deputy Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Protocol is in order, there is no problem. The one who is not mentioned is assumed to have been mentioned. Our beloved country, South Sudan, is facing national security threat, as all of us know what happened last Sunday, 15 December 2013. We passed the transitional constitution, the South 2011, based on democratic system of governance. All of us need to protect this constitution. As we believe in the democracy, no need for war. As all of us know, we have been fighting for almost 5 decades to achieve our country. Now we've got our country. It is a constitutional mandate and a constitutional decision to remove one out of power. The chairman of the Coup, in his request, our president, be out of power as is condition for negotiation. It is a pity to hear such utterance from a chairman of self-claimed Coup. President Salva Kiir is mandated by the people of South Sudan to rule them. Nobody besides the people of the South to make such power, take such power from him. Only the people of the South who gave him the power. Nobody had the right to do that, only the entire people of the Southern people. Let us tell al-Bashir that power is not attained through lies and unfaithfulness. If you want power, let him prepare himself to contest. He is trying to rock the boat, which is being led by our faithful President Salva Kiir. We need to respect the government we establish, not to violate our constitution. We need to protect our country, South Sudan, and not destroy it. No need for war. Democracy is our dream in forming a good governance in this country. We strongly denounce this political violence, this barbaric act should be weeded out and should be dismissed by the entire people of the Southern people. We are in need of development and prosperity. No for war, no for war, no for war. Political issue is resolved through dialogue. Dialogue, not violence. Dialogue, not killing innocent people. and children. Now our government announced its readiness to dialogue. We, as parliamentarians, support the President to restore peace and stability in our beloved country. I'm not here to lecture to you, to read long speeches, but the symbol of the unity of the Southern people is here with you today. You will hear what he has come here for, to impart it to you. We have today in the August House, in the legislature, one of our faithful brothers, one of our faithful children, President of this country, mandated by the entire people of the South Sudan to lead them and direct them in their development and in their welfare. I hereby call upon him to give his briefing on the current political situation of the country to the honorable members of the legislature. Therefore, I call upon the country to come and give you your high welcome. Right Honorable Manazum Abab, Speaker of the National Legislative Assembly, all the members of the legislature, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful to be with you today for this important moment as we are approaching Christmas and the New Year celebrations. Christmas to you all. I wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Of course, the Christmas will not be the same as the other Christmas that we have been celebrating, because we will celebrate Christmas this year while mourning our dear ones that we have lost in this senseless war that we have fought. I'm also grateful to all of you for the great support that you have shown as members of this August House, the two houses I mean, during this crisis, and so that we can restore the stability which was disrupted by those who are power thirsty, who had wanted to take power by force in a military coup. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we are all conscious of that darkest night of the attempted coup on Sunday, December 15, in the history of our new nation, and the despicable atrocities that are inflicted on our citizens in Juba, and which are described to some areas like Bor, Akobo, and other places, I felt morally obliged to come to your noble house to brief you both on the facts of the coup and steps that are taken by this government. The activities and intentions of this group who attempted the military overthrow of the government started earlier this month when I left for the official visit to France. Of course, it was not the first time that it started, and I will come to that. The group that attempted the coup, led by Dr. Machar, convened in the SPLM house here in Juba on the 6th of December 2013. That was just the day after I had departed from Juba. They held a press conference attacking and challenging my executive powers. However, if you could look at the background of this group, you will automatically find that they were my former ministers, most of them, and some governors. And I will have to be very precise in this. The ministers who lost their positions during the last reshuffle, most of them are the ones now involved. And those who are now under arrest were all the ministers, maybe one governor, one former governor, and one former ambassador. This is not the way we expected to change power in our hands. Some are sitting here with us, but they were deeply involved. We are not arresting them not because we don't know them. We know that they knew they were there, but they don't see how good it is and how bad it is. They knew it was bad, this is why they did not participate in action. Because it is always very sweet to talk about war, but it is not good to do it yourself. I would like to continue with this, that my colleagues were publicly out to take power. And then, after their conference in the SPLM house, they proposed day 14 to be the next day that they will hold a public rally, and they were going to go to Nyapron Cultural Center. You all know that the time when I left here was the time President Nelson Mandela died in South Africa. And when I came back, I had to go for the funeral of this great man, as all the world leaders were assembling in South Africa to pay their last respects to the icon of the liberation. This one, I came on the 8th, which was Sunday, and I left on the 9th. I went to South Africa. We had already fixed, when I left, we were supposed to meet in the National Liberation Council on the 9th of December. But when I came on the 8th, I had to proceed on the 9th, and I pushed the date back to 14th. I came back from South Africa through Kenya, because Kenyans were also celebrating
their 50th anniversary of their independence, their golden jubilee. And I was also invited. So I have to make a stopover to attend the celebrations on the 12th of December. Soon after the celebration on the 12th, I came back to Juba, hoping that on the 13th, Friday, we would start the meeting if people were in a hurry, and that I was mindful about the delegates that came from far states, and people of or the staff of the SPLM were always worried about the expenses that they were incurring. So I had wanted this thing to be done quickly so that the delegates that came from the states have to go back to their states. But my colleagues who remained behind told me that it would be better to be on the 14th. They have pushed it to the 14th, which was good. Now the same 14th was then fixed for the date of the rally of the group. Late in the evening or early morning, before we could go to Nyakure, we found that the group has issued a press statement saying that they have postponed the rally to the day that they will fix. They were responding according to the press to the call of the best wishes, those who would want to maintain peace within the SPLM. So on the 14th, we went and started the NLC meeting, which was not interrupted by anybody. And the meeting went on with the participation of all members of the NLC, including the breakaway group. In the evening, at around 6 p.m., we closed after having passed the manifesto as the one first basic document that has been passed by the National Liberation Council. We agreed that we will come back the following day, which was Sunday, at 3, giving, how do you call them, Momini? Well, the faithful. Giving the faithful, the time to go and worship. And that will come at 3. Yes, we came at 3, but the group was not there. They boycotted the meeting. And also we did not just start. The group that came in, we were wondering whether this group will come or they will stay away. For us to go on, we decided to take the roll call so that we know how many were present and how many were not present, given the number of the members of the National Liberation Council. When we counted ourselves, we found that we were 128 present. The whole total number of the NLC members was 136. Subtract 8 from 136, you remain with 128. Who is the majority? It is 128, which is the majority. And if democracy is all about the majority, the members that were present can symbolize the majority of the SPLM NLC members. So we went on with the meeting without the group that had boycotted the sitting. And we went on to discuss and to amend the draft constitution of the SPLM. This group, in the evening, it was possible that they adopted the constitution. The group further went on to discuss the recommendations of the investigation committee, which was headed by Comrade James Waniga on the case of Comrade Pagana Mum, the Secretary General of the SPLM, and which the committee recommended that Comrade Pagan should be removed from his position as the Secretary General, and in any other SPLM positions that he was holding. It was deliberated on by the NLC, and they approved the removal of Comrade Pagana Mom from his position as the Secretary General and any other positions that he held. It is now the chairman, myself, who have not issued the order of implementing this resolution of the National Liberation Council. I personally did not know that the group absented itself from the meeting because they were planning for a military coup. I thought they were thinking of other things, maybe mobilizing people for demonstrations and so forth. That was my thinking, that if, suppose I was the one who thought of this, absenting myself from there, what is the option that I should take? Manatu, I could go to the people to mobilize them and go out for demonstration. So, before we could close on Sunday evening, somebody came driving near Nyakron, opened his car window, and then started shooting, releasing some bullets. He did not injure anybody, but shooting in the air, and drove away with a very high speed. That is how events started. In the night, when it was about, I don't remember, 20 past 10 or half past 10, past 9. Okay. Fighting broke out in the old Gare Jinubia, which is now being occupied by the presidential guards. And that fighting went on. It was the mutinies that had started. Of course, in any military coup, if you control the barracks of the presidential guards unit, then you can take power. There is no problem about it, no question about it. So they knew that it is the Presidential Guards Division that they must start from. And that day when we were in Nyokuren, a lot of money was taken to the barracks by daytime and was given to some soldiers. Others who were not given were so stupid to keep quiet. They didn't know. And they started asking themselves, and they did not come out by daytime to say, these people are distributing money to soldiers. So this is what happened. When this group did not take the barracks, fighting erupted also in the military, in the SPLA general headquarters. And these two concurrently went on. You will hear fighting in the Presidential Guards headquarters, and after a while you will hear that there was fighting around Bilkam barracks. But in the night, this subsided a bit, but resumed very early in the morning. At around 5, fighting resumed, and it became intensive. And so, the loyal forces resisted. What happened in the night, especially in both areas, was that these people broke the stores. And when they broke the stores, some people either they have convinced to join them, broke in, and they took arms. They took arms, they took uniform, and everybody became a soldier. You never know today the people who are killing people in the residential areas, whether they are really soldiers or from that group which benefited from that crisis. Now, in the morning, that was on the 16th, when fighting was still on, Dr. Yeg announced on the BBC that by midday today, he would control the whole of Juba. That was his first release. And he released that after having left his house. Actually, when the first attack was resisted by the loyal forces, he might have been told to come out of his house. And so he left. Those who saw him leaving the house were saying that this man has gone to the US embassy. That was our information. And when people came to me, I said, if he has gone to any embassy in Juba, nobody should step into the foreign embassy. Internationally, it is something not allowed. So leave him there. It happened that he might have taken the route near the embassy, but he was not there in the embassy. So, in the afternoon of the 16th, the main fighting then stopped because the mutineers were now beaten away. So we remained that evening with this sporadic shooting from different areas. And this is where I ordered the arrest of the coup plotters because we were knowing them by name. And from there, they were rounded up and were collected. General Wiai was arrested. General Gier, Dr. Majangagot, these were arrested. Followed later on by Paganamo, Dr. Shurino Gita, Madud Biar, many others came in. Ezekiel Olgakot, the ambassador, was arrested. Kosti Maniba was also arrested. And so we have about 10 now behind bars. You might have seen me last night on the TV with Mama Rebecca. Mama Rebecca was telling the world that he was under house arrest. I told her, you are lying. And if I had known that you would just want to blackmail us, I would have thrown you behind bars just like your colleagues. But I left you because of the respect of Dr. Jones. I told her that I respected Dr. Jones, not you. Because if John was alive today, he would not sit with Dr. Riek the way you were sitting with him on the press conference. And so we left you free, and you have been insulting us in the press. We did not take any action against you. You are free to go anywhere that you want to go to. We talk about, the solution of the conflict. You have heard from Dr. Riek that his conditions for dialogue. Number one, I should step down, I resign, and go. This is not new to me, because 1991, when we made his so-called coup, his condition was that John must go. And the document was that was the title of the document. Why John must go now? So when good wishes came in, trying to bring them